Right. What is going on now is it seems me, Kim, and the Trust are right over the target, and I can confirm that. And so they have increased their army of internet minions to attack. But now Scammer has failed, along with Tiny and Techo and Whiskey Drinker and Expensive Cigar Smoker, etc., etc. The latest now is where they can target or attack us is that the trust funds haven't come out. And I get that, because that is correct. But I don't recall giving a date. And it's kind of pissing in the wind allegations and hoping that some of it lands in the latrine by some to justify their own failures and wishing to step out. And I guess for some our light shines too bright. But it's also ironic are the ones who are connected to the criminal elements in the DNC accuse us of not getting the funds out, and yet some of their own people and clientele list are the exact ones preventing it. Irony, like common sense it seems, is lost on many. So because the trust funds hasn't come out, in their illogical and twisted mindsets, that means THI and me have failed. Nice try, Randy, and others. But THI nor me was not built on the basis of the trust funds arriving or not. And had they listened closely to our shows, they would not lower themselves to that conclusion. But the gist of what is going on now is, and what they're trying to do is make out the trust and or Kim is fake or a scam, yet provide no proof. And then combine it with THI due to links with the trust. So in their heads, by making out the trust is fake or a scam, it discredits all of the THI information as fake or BS. This is how they work. Now, the THI information has done a lot of damage in their world. A lot of damage. We have exposed many, including the hidden hand. And that makes us probably the most dangerous show on the planet to them. Hence their bizarre, proofless attacks. The THI info is now making mainstream media news on a regular basis now. You're all seeing that for yourself. And they can't handle the light being shown on their own criminality that remained hidden for so long. Now, as pointed out in a few recent Zoom calls, what either the trust funds or the $1 or more program are about is not money. It's not about creating wealth, personal or otherwise. It is a teaching program of how to change life on all levels, how to be, how to not be, learning lessons from the dark and doing the opposite, learning the failures of the old system and not replicating it, stepping away from their programs of mind control, drugs, alcohol, pharma drugs, comparative and competitive mindsets, need not greed, and thinking different. So THI and ultimately the People's Club is a rollout of a new teaching course. We have to teach a new way. The old way has failed us all on all levels now. Even the bot-like masses can see or sense it. But with recent dropping out of more alt-media characters finally showing their true colours, perhaps my prediction of a few years ago of 90% of the alt-media being corrupt now suddenly doesn't look as far-fetched, does it? Like I said, time always tells. Now, the state groups are basically for people themselves to become their own teachers and chart their own path in a better way. But although we have had and seen some great progress within the groups, others are still mired in their programming, largely based on them wanting to control it. This is not what we're about. No one wants to control anything. Do I want to control it? Well, some say I have, but clearly not. If I wanted to control it, I would not have created those groups for you all to run. It was all set up with a few guidelines and a new vision for the betterment of humanity to follow. And if it was all about me, why was Randy Morgan's and Alan James given the same status? Or Liam from Scotland, who's been coming around your Zoom calls, which we've got another one with American and Canadian listeners only, please, this Saturday, somewhere around 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I think. Memory serves me correctly. So look forward to that. And he is teaching about the cooperative model working in action and how to take over failing companies and run them a better way, or how to treat and look after staff within the organisation. Why have I asked Alan, Mark, Liam and Lawrence to come up with business ideas, solutions and a working model for Alan to do a show on? Alan will do part 3. Is going to go on the People's Club website. And that doesn't involve me in any way, shape or form. Now, we've also asked Alan, Michael, Jay and some others to create a website between them that will be a standard website with all the same information, and it will be given to every state or country group upon full launch. Again, that doesn't involve me. And we've also created a charter school teaching committee, which also doesn't involve me. And we're about to set up another group based on how to obtain grants for the state and country groups. And again, that doesn't involve me. Why? Well, it's quite simple, really, because none of it's about me. This is about us all creating a blueprint for a new and better humanity that's designed to be all-inclusive. We have a lot of new members. So if you are in THI for the trust funds or just for the money, you have not understood what we are doing here at all. And I hope this piece gives you more understanding. Now, clearly those from Off-Planet Radio missed the point entirely, or told to miss the point, as the case may be. Time always tells. But THI, and eventually the People's Club, is a teaching school. You are all the teachers. Your time now is about learning, absorbing the new way, as you will all be tasked of being the teachers of the knowledge and the new ways for the current and also the future generations. Now, some people I've been asking about websites and going off on their own as a state or a country, which I have asked members several times not to do that. But clearly, at this point, some want to make their own rules up, or so it would seem. Now, my sole reason for this is that websites and domains cost money that those in that group would have to fund, not the People's Club. And that's the sole reason. It is unnecessary time and spending, and will have to change when the funding comes out, as it will be the People's Club, not THI. And I have to say at this point, I am not approving any websites to have the TPC or the THI name or sponsoring currently. I cannot stop people, and neither do I wish to stop people going off and doing their own thing. In fact, I actually encourage it. but I cannot allow THI to be used for a vehicle for a private venture. This is our group. But if you wish to run separate to us, then that is fine by me. The TBC is my company, which is also designed to be our company. And I have the sole right to decide where my company's name is being linked to or used for. So just to be clear, go ahead, create your own groups, but do not involve THI or the TBC names. Some sent a load of stuff in to do with the Shane the Ruiner and his latest audio, and I know some of you are confused by it. And no, the latest audio is not the one of him in a dress attempting to sing Lady Rothschild. Oh dear. Which I haven't listened to any of them of the Jimmy Brent. I have better things to do with my time and listen to scripted narrative that has been sent out to deliver by his own Rothschild's family and the diminishing Draco brethren. The point is, he only did a second interview with his fellow agent Jimmy Brent because the first interview failed. The second fared no better either. Although I was told by people who did listen to it, it was all very mainstream media of statements and particularly with zero proof. And it's a desperate attempt to save face by a desperate group of people and entities, all to stay in control. Like I said, it's not about a mini alt media war. This goes into the bigger game, right at the top. That's why he's doing it. And the desire to stay in control at all costs. Well, the point is, only the weak wish to control others. And they are terrified of losing control. So terrified at the moment, they fail to realise they already have lost control. Which is why they send low-level puppets with Stockholm Syndrome out into the alt media to discredit people who are just trying to help humanity. Just like a puppet.